Hello and welcome to the second vlog from Donington Park for our final race weekend of the Caterham Academy 2020 series. In the last vlog you will have seen the final championship race completed, and in today's vlog we're going to take a look at the Autumn Trophy race. The Autumn Trophy race is the first and the last opportunity for the white and the green group to qualify and race together. So a total of 40 cars out on track is sure to make for some exciting racing. We're riding on board with me for my qualifying session, and I just wanted to show a very near miss I had. Here I am going through Hollywood and the Craner curves, and as I approach the old hairpin I just missed my braking point, wheel on the grass, and round we go. What's really important following a spin is you make sure your car don't return back onto track. So I'm covering the brakes, and when I realise the car is moving backwards I allow the car to roll back as far as I can away from the track. It's a vulnerable place to be, right on the outside of a high speed turn, but everybody done so well. Ian Hapgood was behind me and he took great pride in presenting me with this piece of footage from his in-car, and it shows my car pirouetting. He said it reminded him somewhat of a ballerina. So here we go, Ian, this one's for you. Okay, there's quali done for the Autumn Trophy, a huge qualification sessions of 40 cars out on track. But I was able to find some room and put in my best ever lap times around here. So when I pulled into the Oldland, I said to the guys, how have I done in anticipation? And they answered with 35th. So my fastest time ever. Clearly the track has evolved and it's got quicker and quicker. I've had an absolute ball. At 35th. It's a celebration race. We're gonna have some fun. I've had a chat with the guys around me. We've all got the same intention in mind. We're gonna go out there and have a great race, find some room, go and have a ball and enjoy our last time on track for 2020. So this is Al Costley, and Al's been in white group this year in the academy as well. Have you found your year, Al?
It's been fantastic. It's been probably the most challenging, exciting, interesting, heavily focused period of time, you know, for a very, very long time.
Fantastic. And Donington Park, this is where we've concluded our year. What a track Donny is.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's fast, it's technical, it's flowing. It's just great fun.
Brilliant. And we've just qualified on Sunday, and we're ready for our Autumn Trophy celebration race. So looking forward to a nice drive out this afternoon.
Yeah, it'll be busy, I think is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, it'd be quite good fun. There's a few of us in different groups who have tested together, but I've never actually raced together, who are kind of same sort of pace. So it should be a good afternoon.
It's going to be interesting. We might end up sharing a piece of track later on now.
Yes, hopefully not too closely.
So while you've had a great year out now having fun on track, you've been doing a really good thing alongside it, Al?
Yeah, no, I was fortunate enough when I was serving in the military to have some exposure to the UK bomb disposal community. And the community's mascot is Felix, the lucky cat with 9 lives, which also seemed sort of fairly appropriate for the for motorsport as well. I've actually been running for a charity called the Felix Fund. The Felix Fund supports both financially and with welfare individuals from the UK EOD, explosive ordnance disposal, and search community. Supports both families. We did have a few casualties in Iraq and Afghanistan, and historically as well from Northern Ireland and from the Balkans. And those families and those individuals need support. It's a fairly small community, it's a fairly small charity. So anything that could be done to support them financially would be most gratefully received.
Brilliant. And how can people do that, Al?
You can go to the Felix Fund website. If you just Google Felix Fund, it'll come up, and there's a donate link on that. And I think Rob is very kindly going to pop a link on the bottom of this vlog as well.
Absolutely, I will. And the thing is, with anything like this, please do it now. Don't wait. And I guess as little or as much as you can give, even if it's a small amount.
Anything from 10 pence up.
Thank you.
Anything. I wouldn't say it's thought that count. The money helps as well. But yeah, anything helps.
That's fantastic. Al, it's been an absolute pleasure sharing the track with you this year.
And you, mate.
Let's look forward to a nice race this afternoon.
Yeah, very much looking forward to it.
Yeah. Hope you enjoy it.
Good luck, Rich.
So away from 35th position on the grid, you can see the cars are kind of accelerating and braking in front of me, so just an element of caution here, see if I can pick my way through, and the pack kind of opens up so I can get back into the throttle up the inside of James there, but no, he's still too far in front. He's got that right to the line into the first corner. And to left I see Pete Maloney and Andy Lund. I think Andy had a slow start off the grid, so he's making his way back up through the pack there. Still got Pete out to my left as we come into Old Hairpin. Pete there leaving the car's width for me as well. I'm respecting that he's got the racing line through, but I get a good exit out of Old Hairpin up through Starkist Bridge and a good run on Pete there and up through and making the place. And now I've got Michael Koo in front of me as we enter McLean's. The run up to Coppice, the engine will bounce off the rev limiter in third gear. Down the back straight now behind Michael as we approach Robert Chicane. Drop Pete from behind me so I can take the fastest line through the chicane here and hopefully get a run on Michael down the main straight. So down the main straight, not quite sure why I'm not tucked right up in behind Michael there to have benefited from his toe, rookie error, but Michael's got quite a defensive line into Redgate, so I've got the kind of the faster line there. Michael's been compromised by James, he's had to back out, so I'm able to get a much quicker exit through from Redgate there, so maybe not so bad, and past Michael. Now we take the run down through Hollywood and through the Craner curves, and now as I position myself for Old Hairpin, I can see a car off to the left. It's Al Costley has exited there just before Old Hairpin. I picked my way through safely. But in front of me I can see yet more action. And that's Ron Mounsey. Oh, and that's a big impact with the left-hand barrier there. I've managed to pick my way through a gap there into McLean's and past James Griffiths. And now Bruce Duckworth in front of me. Kevin Turner in front of him and James there behind. James has had a good exit there from Coppice and he's picked up some of my toe. I've got the car positioned kind of a car's width out to the right, but now James has managed to get even further out. He has outbraked me into the Robert Chicane. Really well executed move there, but he did compromise his line, so I've had the quicker line through, get my car tucked up in, see if I might pick up a toe. Which way am I going to go, James? James is now committed, he's made his move to the left. That opens up the inside line for me back into Redgate, so we are sparring for this position, but I don't think it's going to be the end of it. So as soon as you engage in battle, you do slow your speed relative to the pack, but now the pack in front are fighting, so I'm able to gain on them. Steady through Old Hairpin is still under yellows with Al's incident being cleared. But as we exit up through Starkey's Bridge, can I start to make ground on Bruce and the pack in front of me? Certainly seem to be visually closing here. Through McLean's and heading up towards Coppice again, the engine bouncing off the rev limiter, and now I'm back on that train of cars in front of me. Bruce there taking a defensive line into the chicane to prevent me from making a move up the inside. Little fake move from me down the start finish straight. Can I make Bruce move offline? No, he's not falling for that one. So through Redgate we go. For the moment I seem to have dropped James from behind, but I've got a feeling that's not going to be the end of that for this race anyway. Yes, and James there able to close right back up on the back of me. He's had a terrific run down through the Craner curves and through Old Hairpin, so James is now back on this train of cars. Everything else pretty much the same. Bruce a little bit slower there into McLean's. I've got a good drive out. I've picked up a tiny bit of a tow there, but no, I can't really make a safe move. It would be a dive up the inside from that distance away. James there picked up my toe, conscious he's made a good move on me before, so I've got my car positioned mid-road here to try to prevent him from diving up the inside again. And that Stu Hatzel there must have handbrake himself into the chicane. So now I've got James on my left hand side. He's had a good run down, but he's not got any of his car passed, so I can move back in to the normal driving line and take that quick line through Redgate. Something I've learned from Brands Hatch was to defend when you need to defend, and don't defend fresh air. By taking that defensive line, you do really compromise your speed through the corners. So wherever possible, making sure I'm using the ideal racing lines. However, Bruce and Kevin in front, they've certainly dropped me for now, and I've still got James right in my mirrors. With a 15-minute race, you really got to make things happen. As soon as you drop from that toe, it gets increasingly difficult to kind of build that gap back up to the pack. So it's really important I do my utmost to get back onto the back of Bruce's car as quickly as possible here. Through the Robert chicane and taking every single inch of track I can to get the quickest run out, and down that start finish straight. Again, without a toe, I know I'm going to be compromised for my top speed down here. And again, a nice slow in and quick out of Redgate. Quick out is going to give me the drive all the way down through Hollywood and through the Craner curves right the way to the Old Hairpin. You are full throttle for a long time here. And a nice bit of speed carried through Old Hairpin, and a decent drive out up through Starkey's Bridge, but I don't seem to be gaining a huge amount on Bruce. Again, a decent drive out of McLean's. Look like I'm clawing a little bit back each corner. Maybe a few attempts each time, that's what it takes, just reeling back in. James there though, he is starting to fill my mirrors. He's putting the pressure on from behind. James there picking up the toe on me. He's done it again. He's got his car alongside me, and he has managed to outbrake me into the Robert chicane. He's had a decent drive out. I'm going to move to the left. James is taking the defensive line to the right, but rightly so. He's coming across onto that quicker racing line. And we're both through Redgate with James securing that position in front of me now. And up through Old Hairpin, we are both now gaining on Bruce in front of us and Kevin in front of him. Ron's car there still stranded out to the left hand side. It's in a fairly safe place to leave and allow us to continue to race. into Coppice. I can see some dust. We're under yellows. That's Rich Brooks. My paddock mate is in the kitty litter there. I think I've slowed a little bit too much, possibly under the yellows there, and been dropped by the pack in front of me. So let's make sure we get a decent drive through this chicane. Decent drive out onto the start finish straight, and I've kind of made that gap back. And into Redgate we go. I certainly seem to be clawing a little bit back towards James and Bruce in front of me. Kevin's having a great drive. He seems to have made a gap between him and Bruce there, so nicely driven, Kevin. These 3 cars there in front. Through Old Hairpin, up through Starkey's Bridge. Again, a fairly decent drive out. James taking all of the tarmac there. He's wanting this extra position off of Bruce. Still under yellows, the marshals are out there still recovering the car of Rich Brooks. So I'm going to move out to the right. I had no intention of making any sort of move from right back there, but it might have just compromised his line a little bit. I've moved back onto the racing line, and I've had a decent drive out, so that's allowed me to close the gap just a little on James there. James taking a look at the inside of Bruce, but as we come into it, there's been quite a incident by the look of it. It's James Walker on the right, there's bits all across the road, and Toby Boyes there on the left hand side, so there's been what looks to be quite a big incident there. Will that bring out the safety car? But with such a small amount of time, I'm not sure how they're going to manage this situation. Again, backing out through that section, I've just dropped off the back of James there a little. Out through Coppice and taking a run down that back straight. Even from this distance at this speed, you might get a bit of tow. See if I can make James move offline. Well, he's moved offline, but he's taken a move right around Bruce. Brilliant move. That's really worked well for him today. I've picked up a tow now from Bruce. That's compromised his exit from the chicane, but the checker flag is out. Oh, the checker flag's out. If only I had the run down through to Redgate, I'm pretty sure I would have had a decent run and made that position.
You got 27th in the end.
Wow. Yeah. How many finished? 28?
You finished as
say that later.
you finished as you started. With a good looking car.
Yeah.
And we've not replaced any bodywork.
I don't know, you rivet.
Yeah, a brand new
Do you know
rivet.
what?
But there we go, there's the autumn trophy race, and there was an awful lot of carnage in that and an awful lot of fun. First of all, James Griffiths, what an awesome race we had. Well done to you, sir. That was beautifully executed and well done. But pretty much the whole way through, we were having that race. And as you said in Parc Fermé, that's how we started the season at Oldland Park, and what a terrific way to finish. Quite a lot of damage across the rest of the group. So I hope everybody's okay and cars are good. We get to see more of that comes out. I'm sure I'll be able to pop a link in the, for the TV coverage in the description below. I promise, if there is, that's going to be a well worth 15 minutes of your life watching that race back, because it will be a mega race to watch. So there we go, that is the Caterham Academy 2020 done. Thank you to everybody that supported me and watched the vlogs during the year, and I really wish the Academy of 2021 all the very, very best. I promise you, you will have the time of your life. If this is something that you think might be for you, look into it more. If there's any questions I can answer, please do get in touch. I would be more than happy. As for next year, well, I'm just gonna have to wait and see, but I really hope this isn't the end of the journey for me.